I used to think insomnia was just part of aging. You get older, you sleep less, that's what everyone says, right? But after I turned 70, something changed. I wasn't just sleeping less. I was barely sleeping at all. I'd lie in bed, wide awake at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, listening to the silence. Some nights I wouldn't sleep until sunrise. Others I'd fall asleep and wake up every hour, restless, exhausted, frustrated. I tried everything. Over-the-counter sleep aids, herbal teas, warm baths. I even tried melatonin for a few months, and while they worked for a little while, none of it lasted. That's when my doctor told me something that changed everything. Your sleep isn't broken. Your body's just missing the fuel it needs to rest. Turns out, what you eat, especially in your 60s, 70s, and 80s, has a direct impact on your sleep. And today, I'm going to share with you the 5 most powerful foods doctors now recommend for seniors struggling with insomnia, all backed by science, simple to find, and surprisingly effective. Because after all, life after 70 isn't just about surviving. It's about resting, recovering, and living fully. 1. Kiwi, the tiny fruit with big sleep benefits. I want to start with the one that truly surprised me. Kiwi. To be honest, I never thought twice about this small, fuzzy fruit. I'd walk past it in the grocery store, never bought it, never craved it. It just didn't seem important. But it turns out, this little green fruit might be one of the most powerful sleep aids nature has to offer, especially for older adults like us navigating the challenges of insomnia. There's a study, one I've now come to reference often, conducted at Taipei Medical University, where seniors were asked to eat 2 kiwis 1 hour before bedtime every night for 4 weeks. The results were astounding. Participants fell asleep 42% faster, slept 13% longer, and reported a significant boost in overall sleep quality. I didn't believe it at first. I mean, kiwi? Really? But the science checks out. Kiwis are naturally high in antioxidants, especially vitamin C, which helps reduce inflammation and oxidative stress that can interfere with sleep. They're also rich in serotonin, a neurotransmitter that regulates mood and sleep, and folate, which supports the nervous system. And most importantly, they support your body's natural production of melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain when it's time to rest. My neighbor Grace is the one who finally convinced me to try. She's 77, and for years she depended on prescription sleep medication just to get through the night. She always looked tired, her eyes glassy in the morning, but one day she came down to breakfast with a glow I hadn't seen in a while. She told me, "I stopped taking pills last month. I just eat 2 kiwis after dinner now. It's like magic, but it's just food." At first, I thought maybe it was a placebo, but I decided to try it anyway. I started with just 1 kiwi each evening, right around the time I usually have tea. The first few nights, not much changed, but after about 10 days, I noticed something subtle but powerful. My mind was quieter at night. My body felt softer, more settled. I wasn't tossing and turning the same way, and eventually, I slept. Really slept. The kind of deep, uninterrupted rest I hadn't had in years. Now it's a ritual I protect. A small bowl, a spoon, a slice of kiwi, and a moment of quiet before bed. This is what we mean when we talk about #elderly wisdom backed by science. It's not about magic cures or synthetic pills. It's about returning to the body, nourishing it in simple, thoughtful ways that support the healing it already knows how to do. If you're someone over 60 or 70 who's been struggling with sleep, I urge you, try the kiwi, not once, not for 2 nights, Try it for 2 weeks. It won't knock you out, but it just might invite your body back into rest. Because sometimes the answer isn't in another pill. It's in a piece of fruit we've been ignoring all our lives. 2. Bananas. Nature's muscle relaxant. I never thought of bananas as anything more than a breakfast fruit. Easy to peel, soft on the stomach, good for a quick snack. But after turning 70 and dealing with nightly insomnia, I started to look at food differently, not just for fuel, but as medicine. One night, after another restless evening, my doctor asked me a simple question. Do you ever get cramps at night? Does your body feel tight when you're trying to sleep? I nodded. All the time. My legs, my shoulders, even my jaw. She smiled gently and said, "You're not just sleep-deprived, Paul. You're magnesium deficient." That's when she recommended something surprisingly simple. A banana. Bananas are one of the best natural sources of magnesium and potassium, minerals that help relax the muscles, calm the nervous system, and reduce nighttime tension. They also contain a small but powerful amount of tryptophan, the same amino acid found in turkey that promotes the release of serotonin, which your body then converts to melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate sleep-wake cycles. I wasn't convinced right away, but I started having one banana about 30 to 45 minutes before bed. At first I just noticed my legs didn't twitch as much. Then I stopped waking up to adjust the pillow every hour. And finally, about 2 weeks in, I slept through the night without waking once. It wasn't just me. My friend James, 81, who had struggled with insomnia since his wife passed away, was skeptical too. But after I shared the tip, he gave it a try. A week later, he told me, "I forgot what uninterrupted sleep felt like. It's just a banana, but it's changed my nights, and the science supports it." A study in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that older adults who increased magnesium intake through natural food sources reported longer sleep duration and fewer nighttime awakenings. Sometimes we look for complicated solutions when the answer is in the simplest things. A banana costs less than $1. It doesn't come with side effects. It doesn't require a prescription. And it certainly won't make you groggy in the morning. In this season of life after 70, 75, or even 80, small changes matter more than ever. And this one, my friend, is as simple as it is powerful. This is what I now call #elderly wisdom. Real nourishment for a body that still deserves care, sleep, and peace. 3. Warm milk. An ancient remedy, scientifically proven. There's something incredibly nostalgic about a warm glass of milk at night. Maybe it reminds us of childhood, or the gentle rhythm of simpler times. But for many older adults, this old-fashioned ritual holds real biological power. When I first tried it again in my 70s, I did it out of curiosity more than anything else. I wasn't expecting much. But within minutes of finishing my mug, I felt calmer, less fidgety, less mentally wired. That night, I fell asleep faster than I had in weeks. I later discovered that milk contains both tryptophan and calcium, a dynamic duo for the aging brain. Tryptophan, as I mentioned earlier, is an amino acid that the body uses to produce serotonin and melatonin. Calcium helps the brain convert that tryptophan more efficiently, especially as our natural production of melatonin drops with age. But it's not just about nutrients. A 2020 study from the University of Pennsylvania found that bedtime routines involving warm milk led to significantly deeper sleep and reduced nighttime anxiety in adults over 65. In other words, The ritual matters. Now I warm a small cup every night. Sometimes I add a pinch of cinnamon or turmeric for flavor and anti-inflammatory benefits. I sit by the window, sip slowly, and let my body settle into quiet. I once asked Eleanor, a retired school librarian in our building, what helped her sleep best. She smiled and said, "Not my sleeping pills. Just warm milk and the feeling that the day is done. That's what number life after 70 is about. Not just fixing things, but gently realigning with rhythms our bodies remember. And in that moment, just you, the quiet and a warm mug, you're not treating sleep. You're welcoming it." 4. Tart cherries, the melatonin superfruit seniors overlook. Of all the things I've tried to help with sleep, tart cherry juice is the one I now swear by. Not the sweet cherries in your pie, but the sour, bright red Montmorency cherries, often sold as juice or capsules. I first heard about them from a physical therapist who worked with aging veterans. He told me that tart cherries contain natural melatonin, along with anti-inflammatory compounds like anthocyanins, which help reduce oxidative stress and promote hormonal balance in the brain. I was skeptical, but then I found the science. A randomized controlled trial published in the American Journal of Therapeutics found that adults over 60 who drank 8 ounces of tart cherry juice twice daily increased their sleep time by 84 minutes per night and improved overall sleep efficiency. 84 minutes. That's a whole movie's worth of rest. I now drink a small glass in the evening, just 4 ounces after dinner. Not only did I notice deeper, more consistent sleep, but my joint pain also began to ease, likely due to the anti-inflammatory benefits. Martha, an 85-year-old retired nurse I met at a wellness class, shared her experience too. She'd been taking sleep aids for over 20 years, but after trying tart cherry juice for a month, she began weaning off. "My body just felt more natural again," she told me, like it remembered how to sleep without being forced. That's the magic of #elderly wisdom in action. Sometimes nature gives us answers we forgot to ask for. So next time you're in the grocery store, skip the sleeping pills aisle and head to the juice section instead. 5. Almonds. The small snack that anchors your night. It's funny how something so small can make such a big difference. I used to think of almonds as a mid-afternoon snack, something to chew on between meals. I never imagined they'd be part of my nightly sleep ritual. But here's what I learned. A handful of almonds before bed can help prevent nighttime blood sugar crashes, which are a hidden cause of restless sleep in older adults. When blood sugar dips too low, your body releases cortisol to stabilize it, waking you up in the process. Almonds are packed with magnesium, calcium, and healthy fats, all of which help regulate blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and promote steady energy overnight. They also support the body's production of melatonin and help reduce nighttime cortisol levels. A 2014 study in the Journal of Sleep Research confirmed that almonds may increase natural melatonin and improve sleep duration, especially in seniors with low dietary magnesium intake, which is common after age 65. Now, I keep a small bowl of roasted almonds by my nightstand. I eat about 8 to 10 with my evening tea, sometimes mixed with walnuts or a slice of apple. It's light, satisfying, and gives my body just enough fuel to rest. Not just fall asleep, but stay asleep. Robert, a soft-spoken 79-year-old in our community center, told me it was the first thing that worked for him without any side effects. "I used to wake up drenched in sweat from sugar drops," he said. Now I sleep cooler, deeper, safer. That's what sleep should be. Safe, deep, gentle. In life after 70, we don't need harsh fixes. We need simple support. And sometimes that comes in the form of a quiet handful of almonds and the decision to treat your body with kindness. If you've been struggling to sleep as you age, you're not alone. But you're also not powerless. Start small. 1 kiwi before bed, a banana, a glass of warm milk, a few almonds, a splash of tart cherry juice. You don't need prescriptions. You don't need expensive supplements. You just need to nourish your body the way it was designed to be nourished. Because sleep is not a luxury. It's essential for memory, healing, immune function, and mood. If you're over 70, the most loving thing you can do for yourself is rest. Real rest. And the most natural path to that might just be found on your plate. So take this hashtag elderly wisdom, pass it on. Share it with a friend, a parent, a neighbor who can't sleep. And if this helped you, subscribe to the channel for more health tips, life lessons, and timeless advice for the decades that still matter.